if your pump system could be improved. It's seen better days. You could go with submersible pumps, which a lot of people like these days. One of the problems with your pump system that makes it less dependable than it could be is you don't have any screening. You don't have any real method of protecting the pumps upstream of the pumps. Your plant, whoever designed it did what a lot of plants do, and it's sometimes cheaper to put a screen after the pumps, just because it's a shallower structure, it's less expensive to build. Your inflow sewers really aren't that deep, so when you do an improvements, we would recommend that you put a screen and put it up in front of your pumps. And you'll see a dramatic decrease in maintenance throughout the plant and protection of your pumps if you do that. Your plant is an extended air plant. Fine bowl diffusers would be nice to add. It would be a lot better ammonia reduction, a lot better treatment. Again, that's not terribly expensive. But your UV disinfection system, it's a system. Actually, I designed one of those for the town of Cicero with their wastewater plant. And I know just from talking to them, because we're getting ready to replace theirs, we're doing the design for the town right now to replace their system. You just can't really get parts for it. You can't maintain it very well anymore. It's been a good piece of equipment for the town of Cicero. It probably has been for you too, but it's going to have to be replaced before too long. There's a number of other things. Your plant capacity, if you start looking at the projected growth and things that could happen, is probably shy, especially when we consider the INR. So there's a lot of things. You get two components here. You get the collection system and you get the plant. And there's going to have to likely be some improvements at both over the next period of time. So the way we would approach this project then is basically, if we were selected, we would meet with the town, first contact IDM, sort of agree order. You're supposed to have a compliance plan to them, which also has an I&I reduction plan, I think it's June 17th. And I assume you've been talking to them, and they know you're working on it. But,
well, I think they know we're in this process.
So the key, once you have somebody selected, is to have a meeting possibly with them and give them the new schedule where you headed, and that'll go a long way in keeping them at bay and keeping them satisfied. In doing that, then we would suggest that whomever you select, they would gather up all the information, all your MROs, all your past studies. I know you study things. I know you don't want to study everything to death. I don't think you would. But there is some benefit to pull all that information together, taking another look at it from somebody else's eyes, looking at new technology, new philosophies, new things that could happen, and then coming in and seeing what makes the most sense for the town. And what we would typically do is put together, for the plant and the collection system, put together options. Because again, you could have somebody come in, for instance, on the wastewater plant and say, well, for $1 million, you can do this to your wastewater plant. It gives you limited options, but then you might have another option where you spend $1.4 million, let's say, in the wastewater plant. And then maybe there's a $2 million option. All those have different components and different advantages. Obviously, the disadvantage would be the cost of the capital. But unless you take the time to evaluate what the operation and maintenance and replacements costs are, in addition to the capital, you're just making a decision that, sure, you can buy $1 million plant here, but over a 10-year period, it might cost you $500,000 more in operation and maintenance than the $1.4 million like it would do. Because they might cut corners on the sludge system, you might draw more power, you make more chemical usage. So you really need to, in our view, look at the entire picture from a plant standpoint, to look at all the costs associated with it over a 20-year design cycle and see what makes the most sense, rather than just leaving it to capital costs. That sounds good on the surface, but and unfortunately we see a lot of our competition just look at that. And in a lot of towns, obviously they're strapped for money, but it's going to cost you one way or the other. If you put in $1 million plant and it's higher maintenance, then 5 years from now you're going to get a break-even point. You would probably wish you went with the 1.4 potentially. The other thing we would look at is in addition to your compliance plan, you have to submit an I&I reduction plan to IDM. There's a couple ways you can do that. I mean, you could some engineers would come in here and tell you you can do a new wastewater plant and do a new intercept bunch of infiltration work, a whole bunch of work to your collection system. It's gonna cost a lot of money to do all that. We've been successful in identifying what you need to do immediately to get the problem manageable. In some communities, Bignell, for instance, we did their wastewater plant. They had to do a wastewater plant. We studied the collection system and actually did portions of it first. Since then, we've done 2 other collection system projects, and they're just kind of moving ahead and slowly implementing an I&I reduction plan, but at a rate that's affordable for the community. If you spread that out too, you have more potential to get more grant money too eventually. So there's a benefit to that. Obviously, some communities have more money and they perhaps want to spend it, do it, and everything can be done with it. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of those around. Most of the people we work with are limited in funds unless you're the federal government.
In that case, you would have extra money in the rate structure to phase in over time.
Right, and it may even include some budget to do some continuing investigation. Because, again, take for example, town of Cicero, they spent years, and they spent $1.5 million just redoing sewers that are downtown area. They saw no benefit from it. We've been their town engineer now for the last 8 years, and what we've done, and they discharge, by the way, to Morse Reservoir, so I in Brownsburg, which is a backup drinking water resource for Indiana, plus a full contact body of water people boat in, so I was pretty serious about it. We came up with some methods. We looked at all the old studies, looked at what had been done, and basically came up with some ways to flood the storm sewer. Work with the town and their personnel. We flooded their storm sewers segment by segment with a plan for each one, dyed the storm sewers, and identified where they came into, because it was obviously, by the way it reacted in the plant, there was infiltration and inflow. But the biggest bang for the buck is take the inflow off. Infiltration, of course, gets slower, it's over time, but you can generally handle it on an extended period a lot easier. So we were able to actually identify $900,000 worth of work that's under construction now. We've got about 2/3 of it done. And they had 5 inches of rain there last week and did not violate the permit. But more to the 1-inch rain to violate the permit. So, we went through some methods and worked with the town and came up with a plan to evaluate and come up with a good plan to best spend the money versus rushing out and saying, well, you just need to replace everything. In addition to that, we worked with them on inspection of laterals, and they've got their private property owners doing that. Because you can put all new sewers in, but you still got all the private laterals. You purchase
Downspouts.
and you got the downspouts, and then you also got some, like you said, sump pumps that are involved. We have a door-to-door sump pump program that the town's implementing. We put together an ordinance and helped them put together an ordinance and a policy too that as properties are sold, that they have to be inspected by somebody in the town, and they verify I&I at that point in time. Because even after you get it under control, people come back and reconnect. So at least it gives them some way to try to keep task of that. So it was really, we factored in 5 or 6 items, and some of them they do themselves, and we just help them with, and they implement it. In addition to using smart ways to come up with ways to spend capital that, rather than the shotgun approach, which seems to be the easy way out. But you can spend a lot of money and not really gain a lot taking that approach. So what we would suggest, if we were selected, we could come in, we could evaluate all those things, see where you stand. We've got a lot of experience at wastewater treatment plants, different technologies, different processes. Extended air is a great process. There's really no reason you're comfortable operating that. There's no reason to go away from that. Most of your tanks look like they're in good shape. So it really depends on capacity. And again, the other thing we look at is 20-year growth, because you guys got I-65